All right, we're on our last way to solve a system of equations. So today, you're going to solve it by using the addition method. Now, you'll notice it says by elimination, addition method, and linear combination. Those are all of the same types of ways to solve something. So you're going to learn how to solve them and how to solve real-life problems. Now, before we begin, I'm going to make this smaller so you can't see it. Think about it. Elimination. The whole purpose of elimination is to eliminate one of the variables. That's it. So while these look like a lot of steps, the steps are not necessarily that hard. So here's what we got to do. You have to make both equations eliminate one of the variables when you combine them together. If you don't have something where the variables are going to eliminate, you've got to perform step 1. Step 1 says that you're going to multiply one or both equations by a constant, so at least one pair of the like terms has the same or opposite coefficients. You want one of them to be negative 5x, the other has to be 5x. If you want one of them to be 22x, the other one needs to be negative 22x. Then you're going to combine the equations together to eliminate one of the variables, and then you solve the equation. And step 4 is you substitute your answer, whatever you get for x or y, or a letter, and you plug it in one of the original equations to solve for the other variable. All right, so let's look at example 1. Solve the system of linear equations by elimination. Now, it was not mentioned before, but we have to make sure everything lines up. You'll notice that both equations here are in standard form, and that's good. You'll also notice that 2y and negative 2y are opposite coefficients of each other. So all I do is combine or add the equations together. That gives me 6x equals 0. If I divide both sides by 6, x equals 0. So easy. Now I take the value of x and plug it into either equation. I'm going to plug it into the first one. Well, 3 times 0, 3 multiplied by 0 is 0, plus 2y equals 4. 2y equals 4, and that gives me y equals 2. So the solution to this system is 0, 2. Now in example 2, we have the following equations. Negative 10x plus 3y equals 1, and negative 5x minus 6y equals 23. Now, everything is in standard form. Everything is lined up. So what I'm going to do is I have to determine, do I want to eliminate my x's, or do I want to eliminate my y's? I want to eliminate, let's do x's. So if this is negative 10x, what would I multiply to negative 5 to get positive 10x? What would you multiply by? Negative 2. Now here's my suggestion. When you multiply the second one, copy down the first one. It helps you when you combine them together. So the first one's not going to change. If I multiply the second one by negative 2, I get 10x plus 12y equals negative 46. I combine them together. Now, if you combine them together and you don't get anything that cancels, then you didn't do it correctly. So this gives me 15y equals negative 45. That gives me y equals negative 3. So I know negative 3 is my y value. If I plug it in, which one do I want to plug it in? Let's plug it into the second one. Negative 5x. Negative 6 times negative 3 is 18. So negative 5x equals 5. X equals negative 1. So I get negative 1, negative 3 as my solution. Now, you could have also multiplied the top equation by 2. And that would have also worked. In this case, though, you would have gotten rid of the y's. Now in this example, 2b, or not 2b, but no, 2b, we have this system. Now, step one, you will notice that everything is not lined up. I always, well, not always, you have to do this. So it's not, I'm not suggesting it, you just need to do it. You have to make everything lined up. Now, how you do that is completely up to you. I always like to put it as standard form. The first equation, 5x plus 8y equals 1, is already in standard form. The second equation, let's see. So I can add 2x. So if I add 2x, that's going to give me 2x. Well, it actually give me 2 equals 2x plus 3y. But I can write 2x plus 3y equals 2. Now, here is where your choice is completely okay. You can get rid of your x's. You can get rid of your y's. It does not matter to me which way you do it. So let's look. I'm going to get rid of my x's. So what you have to do is make the coefficients opposites. So I have to make 5 and 2 something that they both go into. Since and 3 and 8, I can't just multiply 3 by 2 or 3 by 3 to get 8. So I'm going to actually change the x's in the 10 and negative 10. So I'm going to make this one, let's see, if I multiply this first equation by 2, that gives me positive 10x. So that means the second equation I'd have to multiply by negative 5. Now, could I have multiplied the top equation by negative 2 and the bottom by 5? Absolutely. But let's multiply these. So I'm going to get 10x plus 16y equals 2. And then I'm going to get negative 10x minus 15y equals negative 10. Combine them together. Oh, the 10x's, the x values cancel. So I'm left with 1y equals negative 8. So if y equals negative 8, let's see, I can plug this in. Which equation do I want? I'm going to do the second one. Negative 2x plus 2 equals 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. I subtract 2. So x equals positive 13. So my answer will be 13, negative 8. Now, could you have also gotten rid of your y's by making them 24 and negative 24? Absolutely. And our last example. A business with 2 locations buys 7 large delivery vans and 5 small delivery vans. Location A receives 5 large vans and 2 small vans for a total cost of $235,000. Location B receives 2 large vans and 3 small vans for a total cost of $160,000. What is the cost of each type of van? Well, what would I do first? I would first set up your equation and figure out what you need to find. What is the cost of each van? So I'm going to do L for large and S for small. So let's see here. Location A receives 5 large vans. I'm going to do it cursive. 5 large plus 2 small equals $235,000. Location B has 2 large vans plus 3 small vans equals $160,000. Pause the video. See if you can do this yourself. Pause the video and solve it. Now, by the way, you don't have to use L and S. You like, I just want to use X and Y. You absolutely can. So in this problem, I'm going to get rid of the S's. I'm going to multiply the first one by negative 3 and the second one by 2. You will find out that the cost of a large van is $35,000. And the cost of the small van is $30,000. And there's our answer.